Only get no respect is pretty much what every veteran teacher feels these days. The No-Frills Teacher podcast starts now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the No-Frills Teacher podcast. I'm your host, Show Camps, aka the No-Frills Teacher, and this is episode 7, The Veteran Teacher, or as I like to call the veteran teacher, the Rodney Dangerfield of educators. So Rodney Dangerfield shtick was the whole thing about respect. He got no respect, and he made a career out of that. And the reason why I associate that mantra with veteran teachers is because in the year 2023, in the profession of education, veteran teachers really are disrespected or treated with no respect, especially by um, society, elected officials, even sometimes peers. Now, this isn't to say that all veteran teachers are not respected, and I just wanted to make that clear. But I do want to address one of the biggest issues that veteran teachers face, and that's um, the discrepancy with pay compared to new teachers and new hires in many states. So whether it be in Florida or elsewhere, and it's almost like you're being penalized to stay in the profession. And if you're a veteran teacher and you've been teaching 15, 20, 25, 30 years, and you're just making a couple of thousand more than a brand new hire straight out of college or a career changer who has no experience. In fact, veteran teachers are punished in a way if they continue to keep professional service contracts instead of moving to an annual contract. And that's just wrong. Why should a teacher who had put in their time and dedicates their life to this career of teaching be penalized because they choose not to go to an annual contract? In fact, in many school districts, they give incentives for teachers to move to a career ladder and give up professional service contracts. I get the appeal that we want to attract new people to the profession, young people to the profession, even career changers to the profession, because the profession of education, the teaching profession, is really in crisis mode with retaining, hiring, enticing young college graduates to come into this because of how teachers have been treated these last couple of years. And teachers honestly have been dumped on for quite a while, but it's really ramped up within the last 3 to 5 years easily. And the trend is continuing to get worse with how teachers are treated in general. So yeah, you want to make salaries competitive for young professionals. And that's all fine and well. But the problem is that you're pushing out veteran teachers, teachers that have been in the profession for, X amount of years, and, they're veteran teachers. There's no incentive to continue to stay in the profession. And then they start looking elsewhere to make a better wage, make a better living. And then you don't have anyone to help mentor and support and train these new professionals. So yeah, you might be attracting, the next group of educators coming, which we need because we need the profession to teach them to survive. And the only way it's going to survive is by attracting new teachers into the profession or getting, career changers, and that will be in for the long haul. But in the process of doing that, you're pushing out the veterans who are the ones to guide and support the teachers. And a big reason why so many teachers don't make it past the first 5 years, when you look at exit surveys, is that they simply didn't feel supported, whether it be through administrators, district personnel, or through peers. So now you're getting rid of the experts in the building, if you want to call them experts, or at least the ones that have experience and have, been through the the challenges of what it is to be an instructional, educator, and they're leaving in droves because they're simply being dumped on and dumped on and dumped on and dumped on to the point where they can't take it anymore. So they just get up and leave the profession. They quit. They find better paying jobs, or some of them just eventually just retire. You can't teach an old dog new TikToks. And what I mean by that is, I really feel that sometimes there's a missed opportunity with veteran teachers collaborating with younger teachers and learning more of the resources out there and the audiences out there on social media, whether it be, people sharing teaching strategies, teaching hacks, or just even uh, teacher humor to kind of lighten the mood, and ease the stress of being an educator, and in today's society. And that's not to say that there aren't veteran teachers out there that are wonderful with using social media and various programs. However, there is that generational gap, and especially with these young professionals coming into teaching who are so well versed, many of them, in using social media and creating these tutorials that they share with their followers. But if they're not sharing with their colleagues, that really is a missed opportunity for growth and collaboration. So the last thing I want to address with veteran teachers not getting the respect that they deserve, it's really just from society. It's from the community. It's from elected officials, and really teachers are looked at as glorified babysitters, and the mandates that are just shoved down the throats of educators, and the insult with pay and constant changes with curriculum and with standardized testing and the attacks on unions, or all those things that are currently happening within our country. Uh, Veteran teachers are just tired of the crap and just tired of just being dumped on. And I know I keep repeating myself by saying that throughout this episode, but it's just straight facts, and it's just really, unfortunate that teachers are viewed the way they are. And it wasn't that long ago, it was a couple of years ago, during the beginning of the pandemic, where when people had their children at home and teachers are heroes, and teachers are zooming while taking care of their families and from home, from their own homes. And I personally was home, and my I was zooming with my students while home, and I loved it because I was able to still have that connection with my students and their families. But here I was taking care of my own family and ensuring that I was still supporting my students the way they need to be supported. Now, not everyone did that, but being a teacher in Florida, it was something that was expected of us, something that we did, and that was all fine and well. But we went from teachers to heroes. I don't know how you guys do it. How do you guys do it? Wow, I can never do your job. Wow, I'm home with my kids for a week, and I just can't believe, you know, that teachers do this every day. Fast forward now to the year 2023, and it's teachers are whining and teachers are complaining, and teachers, are selfish and give me more money, give me better insurance, and teachers almost are vilified nowadays. So how do you go from being a hero 3 years ago to being vilified, as many are nowadays? And veteran teachers seem to just be over it. Many of them, and they're just leaving. They're just not getting the respect that they deserve from families and from community stakeholders, and elected officials at times. And if you happen to be an educator where you have an amazing community and support system, that's awesome. Bravo. If you happen to be an educator listening to this podcast and you live in a state where you have elected officials that are looking out for your best interests, that's awesome. But the sad reality is that many do not, and they're just sick and tired of it. Just that lack of respect. So you're leaving a profession. Perhaps one day things will change. Perhaps things will get better. Perhaps teachers in general will be respected. And I'm definitely not saying that veteran teachers are the only teachers that don't get the respect they deserve. All teachers, for the most part, do not get the respect they deserve in this profession. Well, that's it for tonight. Episode 7, The Veteran Teacher, aka the Rodney Dangerfield of Educators. I hope that you guys enjoyed this podcast. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you can so kindly leave comments and feedback, reviews are appreciated as well. I'm Joe Camps, aka the No-Frills Teacher, and this is the No-Frills Teacher podcast.